He's written to them saying, "You have regularly displayed your desire to promote your dislike of Oldham Athletic Football Club, its management and its progression, and you are influencing others to do the same. You're taking deliberate steps to harm the club and cause distress. In light of these circumstances, I'm writing to inform you that you're officially banned from all first team and youth games for a minimum period of," wait for it, 3 years. "I'll be forwarding this correspondence to GM Police, Greater Manchester Police, and our stadium safety officer." What in heck's name is going on? Bradley Knowles is an Oldham Athletic fan. He's Oldham Athletic Supporters Foundation Director. And Bradley is one of the banned 3 and joins us live. Bradley, good morning.
Hiya, fellas. How's it going?
Morning.
We are all right. How are you? What was your reaction when you opened the letter from the lovely Mr. Brown?
Well, when I got it, I was just a bit shocked, angry, and then when you read it, you're upset. I think the main thing which said on there, look at your dislike for Oldham Athletic. I'm a season ticket holder, not missed a game for 5 years, apart from the pandemic season. Travel away. So recently we played Sunderland in the Papa John's Trophy. We were there. That's 60, 70 quid. If somebody's disliking the club, just burning money like that, it's a funny way of saying it.
I mean, obviously you must have been in a state of shock, as you say. Have you gone overboard with what you've said, Bradley? Have you, I know it needs to be asked, have you threatened the owner, Lemsegam, in any way to incur involvement of a police matter?
No, definitely not. We actually spoke to GMP Police. The sergeant there, he said that they can't enforce anything. It's a civil matter, and they're not taking any steps. We've not done anything. Threatened Lemsegam. We've done peaceful protests. I've not been on the pitch. Nathan and Dom are the same. They've not been on the pitch. They've not thrown any tennis balls. We've got video evidence of that, showing that we've not been involved. It's just been what I've said is what other fans have said, that the Lemsegams need to go.
And it's basically, Bradley, where you are at the moment. I mean, Oldham are facing the prospect of losing your 114-year-old Football League status. You're 3 points from safety in League Two. So, obviously, from a club point of view, it's a very precarious position to be in. Simon, what's your take on this? We covered it about 4 or 5 months ago and spoke about it, and we tried to get a balanced perspective. I think we had one of the directors, Adam Morley, on with a fan, talking about the difference of opinion between what the fans were doing at the time. Keith Cole was obviously the manager at Oldham, who was my assistant manager at Palace, and I've had obviously conversations with Keith about certain aspects of certain proportions of the fan base that Keith's
have been a little bit. I know he has, been a little bit divisive. The bottom line is that the team are at the bottom of League Two. Nothing that this owner seems to have done has been a success. From the players that he's bought to the relationships that he's had to the ultimate deterioration of his relationship with the fans. So I find myself in a perplexed state of mind why he would want to write a letter to somebody telling them that they're banned from the stadium if really and truly all this person has is a different point of view. If all Bradley has, if that's all you're saying you have, Bradley, is a different point of view, you don't want him there. Unfortunately, as an owner, that's the slings and arrows you have to accept from people. Some people don't like you. Right? And you might think that's unjust, but it's the way that the world works. But why have they Bradley, why have they singled you out? Why have you got this letter saying that your behaviour, put aside, I think it's a slightly ridiculous observation that people that spend money at the football club subsequently hate it. You could make the argument that people used to go to football stadiums to fight. So did they love the football club when they were spending money on tickets? So your argument about how much money you spend may not pass a sniff test, but I don't suspect you don't like your football club, you don't like the ownership model. So I'm surprised they've used that language. But why have they singled you out to write a letter to you detailing your behaviour and then banning you? Why you in particular? I'm not too sure. I am an outspoken fan. As I said before, which Jim said, I am on the Supporters Trust director there. I have supposed to meet Steve Brown. He cancelled at the last minute, said that the reason why, because Keith Curl had been sacked. I publicly put the letter out there saying he's cancelled the meeting while we were outside, took annual leave for that. He said that he'd get back and respond. He's never responded. So it seems like he's got a bit of a vendetta against me, the person who has written the letter.
How many people in the Supporters Trust are there, Bradley?
So I think there is 7 of us.
Right, and they've written to 3 of you?
No, just myself. Right. The other 2, Nathan and Dom, are separate fans.
Right, so of the Supporters Trust, you're the only real member of the Supporters Trust that's received a letter telling you that your behaviour isn't acceptable and they want to remove you from the stadium and anything around the football club?
That's correct, yes.
But is there any reason?
I mean, what have you done? But
There must. I'm not suggesting that you've done anything wrong. I'm just asking to try and get context.
Yeah.
I'm not defending the owner because, first of all, he's a football agent, so he's not going to be in my good camp. But secondly, he's made a holics of the whole thing. It's undeniable. Your team are second bottom of the league, and everyone's falling out of one another.
Have you incited disruption, Bradley?
No. We've all we said is legal protest against Hartlepool. We had the legal protest. 800 fans turned up. We were there. My friend Nathan, he made a speech. Maybe didn't like his speech. But there's nothing different to any other fan which we've done. So
was this a protest on match day?
This is the match day protest, yes.
Just to reverse the situation, let me ask you a question. I'm not trying to be clever, I'm not trying to be an ex-owner. If you were an owner and it wasn't going the way you wanted it to do, and it's certainly not going the way you wanted it to do, how would you feel? What would you do to remove the situation where people are coming to a game, causing disruption and wanting to have a protest? Initially, it was throwing tennis balls on the pitch. Initially, it was followed by going on the pitch. There were allegations, and I'm sure you'll refute, that there were young players being targeted by fans because they weren't good enough. All of that is a backdrop. What would you do, besides run the club better, I suspect is the answer, what would you do if you were very unhappy with people coming into the stadium and protesting?
I speak to us. The protest, it works. The one which was the legal one, he wrote an open letter
I remember
to
that,
ourselves. Each point of them has failed. He's not delivered on them. The 3-year plan is not delivered. That was supposed to be done by October, not been delivered. Fans Forum, not delivered. He said that he will have open communication with
Can I ask you why
you
think you're entitled to a 3-year plan? I just wonder why. I wonder if Man City fans are entitled to a 3-year plan, or Liverpool fans, or Aston Villa fans. I wonder why you think. I'm not suggesting you're not, but why do you think you're entitled to a 3-year plan?
We're not entitled to the 3-year plan. We've not asked for a 3-year plan.
He volunteered it, did he?
Himself.
Right.
Yeah, so he volunteered that information. We did. Nobody's asked him for that. If he's volunteered that in the open letter, and he's failed, he's set the deadline of end of October, and he's not delivered it.
Bradley, as you probably know, this is where it all started for Trevor at Oldham.
Yeah, I mean, I started playing at the School of Excellence back in the day, probably before you were born, Bradley. But how long have you been a fan of Oldham?
Since I'd probably say about 2004, 2005.
Yeah, because I remember Oldham being a fantastically run football club. Joe Royal was the manager there. I used to train there. This stinks of what went on at Blackpool to me. Fans getting banned from the owner.
But they ripped the profits out. Come on, Trev. That's comparing and contrasting. Owen
I'm talking about
ripped out the profits. From
I
the Premier
understand
League.
that, but what I'm saying is the relationship between the fans and the owners.
But what was the genesis of it?
Pardon?
What was the genesis of it? Blackpool got relegated, and everyone went, "Where's the money gone?"
Exactly.
And it was 100 million quid.
The reason that what's happening here is replicating what happened at Blackpool. The chairman is starting to ban fans from coming to the stadium. Yep. He's starting to take fans to court. I'm not sure whether you've been threatened with that yet. Well, and this only ends one way. And I'm sure you know Blackpool fans that have been through it with the Oyston family, mainly Carl. And I was actually asked to go onto a board with the late, great Jimmy Armfield to try and help fix the relationship between the fans and the owners. And I would say that would probably be a good starting place for Oldham.
I'm assuming this club's losing a lot of money. So what I want to understand is get rid of him, okay? Because I'm not suggesting he's a good owner because clearly he isn't, right? But who's going to fund the club in the event that you get what you want, which is basically out? You are a disaster. We don't want you here. Nothing you've done has been good. You're duplicitous. You don't do what you say you're going to do. So we'd like you gone. So imagine that utopian world that you get rid of him. He decides to pack up and go. Who's going to fund the football club going forward?
Yeah, definitely. It's a good question to ask. The reason why we have been searching for owners ourselves. We've had a few come to us. We're in a position now to say to the club, we've got somebody who is willing to take the club on. Last week, we messaged Adam Morley and we've passed on what we need to do in order to get a meeting sorted. We've still not heard back from Adam.
Right. At the moment, I'm asking Mr. Abdallah if he'll give us a comment as to where we are with this. Bradley, nothing coming back yet.
I mean, they should come on, Jim.
Of course.
Oldham Athletic, if I were the owner of Oldham Athletic and I had an issue with fans, I'd be on the front foot wanting to tell you what that issue was.
Bradley,
Simon.
Bradley,
you're right, mate. You're right.
Who owns the stadium?
So the stadium is owned by a company in the name of Brass Bank.
And who are they in relation to the owner?
They have a relation to the owner. It's a separate asset. And
so you have a lease on the stadium. The stadium is not owned by the owners of the club.
That's correct, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What I can tell you is someone within the club is listening to this, Bradley. I don't know if this takes us anywhere. This is a developing situation, I'm being told. I'm trying to push it with them here. We are trying to resolve it. At this moment, we are trying to resolve it. But speaking out about it only hardens certain positions. But certain individuals at the club are trying to resolve this, Bradley, is what I'm being told.
Resolve what? Resolve writing letters to people and banning them. You've got a guy that's influential in the supporters' trust that's a noise. You've got to deal with him.
Yeah.
You've got to deal with him. And the best place to deal with it, if you're going to write letters in the public domain to somebody, which is pretty much what they've done, then really and truly they should have the balls to come on here and say why they've done it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'm pushing Mr. Lemsagam as we speak. A final one from me, Bradley. Are you going to stick two fingers up on the ban? Are you going to continue to go?
The home games, we can't go. That's Mr. Lemsgood right on a dame to ban him. Like it's his house, basically. He can ban who he wants.
Yeah.
Away games is a different story.
Yeah.
It's not a football banning order. It's not enforceable. Even spoke to the club yesterday at the ticket office because they had tickets for the Barra game, which hopefully does go ahead. He said, well, they can't stop you from going. It's down to nobody, really. So I will be going to Barra.
Is there anything this owner's done, in your opinion, Bradley, during his time? I mean, we heard from David Wheater, and he had lots to say for himself, both here and on social media. Is there anything this owner's done during his time that vaguely resembles a fair owner set of behaviours?
I don't think there is. Every time he does something, we think we're calming down. There's a crisis. The only thing which you can say about him, we managed to get through. Well, we're still managing to get through the pandemic. That's the only thing which you could say.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.